Okay, yeah, so I'm with the Bozeman DNRC office. We cover Gallatin, Madison, and Park counties. I'm not used to talking in a microphone, so yeah, thanks for prompting me. I'm happy to be here as well. So I represent the state of Montana from the water quantity perspective, water rights, water law. It's a rare treat to be challenged to get only 5 minutes worth of time speaking. I could go on for hours, but I'd probably also put you to sleep, so we don't want that. But just first, a couple things. All beneficial water uses that are put to, when people put a water to use, that does need a water right. And just to go into a real basic catch-up, there's the Eastern and Western doctrines of water rights. So some of you may know about this. Western water laws based on priority dates. First in time is first in right. That's where we're at here in Montana. And then there's the Eastern doctrine or riparian doctrine, where people can use water if they can access water. We sometimes get people that move into our area that get confused on that, and that doesn't make for a good instantaneous neighborly relations here, where water's definitely worth fighting over. So those are just a couple basics to get us started. Why is water important? What is the big picture for the Big Sky area looking into the future? Well, this map shows closures in the state of Montana. So as you can see, there's a lot of our state that is closed to water uses of some sort based on, majority of it is based on already the water's all allocated. It's all appropriated, or as some people will say, over appropriated. So here in Big Sky, in the Big Sky area, we have the two closures. It's generalized into the Upper Missouri Basin closure. In statute, it's called the Upper Missouri River Basin closure, and then the Madison-Jefferson closures are listed separately, but it's essentially the same thing. These closures were driven by challenges in the 90s to DNRC permitting of water use that said, wait a minute, like the power companies on the Missouri, like we think the water's pretty much already all appropriated. So that led to a closure. And then we also, let me make sure I have the laser pointer. You also have a part of the Yellowstone controlled groundwater area in this area, and that is a compact closure to protect the national parks, Yellowstone National Park's hydrothermal resources. So, big picture, along with the closure, there's some options for new water supply moving forward, but one thing that you have to look at is mitigation water. You have to mitigate new water use with old water. And where is all the old water? Well, the water use is if you look at the Gallatin Valley, this is use mapped in the 50s. So as you can see, Big Sky doesn't have much historic use that they can use for mitigation water. And the Gallatin Valley has a lot of uses that depend on water. So that, and then you've got, I missed the laser pointer. And then the Madison side, you can see there's some similar, although the Madison River is dam controlled, so that's a little bit different. But big picture, you have hydropower uses downstream. The Gallatin Valley has a lot of water uses, and the Madison side. So here's just a picture that shows kind of general development in the Big Sky area, just to give you that visual. So kind of just to summarize the two sides again, so 41H is the term we use for the Gallatin Basin. So it's the closed basin to surface water, and groundwater is considered connected. Small groundwater uses can still be developed, but anything over 35 gallons a minute and 10 acre-feet a year does need a permit, and that's where you cannot use any new water. The water commissioner on the Gallatin does cut water at 1890, so any priority date later than that's pretty much considered a higher flood right. And so it's really hard to get even a basin closure exception of high flood waters. And then the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has in-stream flow rights that are not always met on the Gallatin, so that's another factor that shows you that water's just really not available in this area for new uses. So that's kind of lines up development on that side, on that basin. And then if you look at the Madison, which our basin code number is 41F, same thing, part of a basin closure. Because the Madison's dam regulated, You know, it's not as contentious as the Gallatin. They don't have a water commissioner, but it is still considered over-appropriated. There has been some high spring flow water permitted on that side with canyon ferry mitigation water, but since changes have since occurred in policy, so I think that'd be tough to get through today. And mainly because of Jack Creek, that also has a fish, wildlife, and parks and stream flow that's not met year-round, and that is between the Big Sky area and the Madison. So those are kind of just the big picture, why getting new water is a challenge in the Big Sky area. So I look forward to your questions as well, and I'm grateful Big Sky's working on this now, because as you can see, it's not going to be a simple solution.